connecting. It's connecting. Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Tarot is Ridiculous. I know we are live on some platforms, and I am still waiting for it to go live on others. So if you can see us, then hello and welcome to our live today. I am very excited for us to be here and with my incredible guest, Victoria Smith Murphy. Did I get that
You
right?
got,
Because
you
like
got it right. You got it right. Yes. We took the two most boring surnames in the world and joined them together.
because like sometimes I'm like I get the hyphen names round the wrong way, and I'm like, okay. Now, Victoria, you have a very interesting business, and I want to talk about it a little bit because you've taken tarot corporate.
I have, yes, yes, and I am continuing to do so. Yeah.
How did you stumble into that?
So, gosh, so I'm an executive coach by profession, really. So I worked in the corporate world myself for about 12 years in various large organisations in the UK. I'm based in London. Worked in corporates in the US, worked in corporates in France, and then left the corporate world in 2015, I think, and sort of have spent about 10 years setting up an executive coaching practice. And as part of my executive coaching work, I integrate a lot of um, I vary depending on the audience. I variously would call it, holistic, whole person, transpersonal, spiritual approaches, depending on kind of the audience and where they are in their
Mm-hmm.
own journey. And I bring a lot of unconventional practices into my work. One of which, the central of which, really is tarot. So I use tarot for like daily within my one-to-one coaching clients and my coaching practice. And I increasingly use it within workshops, conferences, events with, groups from, large, global media organizations through to groups of lawyers. I ran a legal retreat last year with a load of general counsels for global organizations, and we were doing tarot and full moon rituals. So yeah,
That's so cool.
it's great. It's great fun, and it's really not as, people are always expecting there's going to be a lot of resistance, and in my experience 90% of people are just really curious, which is a
Yeah.
joy. Mm.
I love that. I love curious. I love being able to bring the curiosity of what tarot is and does into new situations. So,
Exactly.
I just love that about like when I was going through all of your Instagram stuff and I was seeing what you do. I was like, now that is interesting. Like you're the first tarot person I've had on who's like really got a foot in the corporate world, and
Oh
I think that
wow.
that's great because I
Thank you.
think that like tarot. I mean, I've done plenty of corporate events, and I think people underestimate how much some of the things that we take for granted, like meditation, breath work, yoga, and tarot, are actually incorporated in a lot of corporate culture to begin with.
Mm. Yeah, and I think what's interesting is a lot of the so let me step back a bit. I don't bring tarot in as a tarot reader. So I've done like one corporate tarot reading event in my life, and I
Right.
wouldn't repeat it. It wasn't for me. I very much use tarot within a coaching framework. Like I integrate it into personal development sessions, or sessions about kind of tapping into your somatic knowing, things like that. So it's very much kind of scaffolded within personal development. But then depending on the audience, I, will bring in more of my own personal beliefs. But to your point around like some of this language is already baked into the corporate world. Like there is a way in which you can language tarot and talk about tarot and introduce tarot in these very conventional spaces in a way that really doesn't like shut people down, because you can just talk about connecting with your own inner wisdom, or taking a moment to pause and turn down the volume of the outside noise, all of that can be kind of
Mm,
language that people can meet very easily without needing to feel like they're having something done to them that they don't understand and that they haven't signed up for.
exactly, exactly. Okay, so you brought a deck today. What deck did you bring today? One part of this is bringing your favorite deck. What'd you bring?
So I really struggle with this, and I'm sure most people say that. I've bought. I'm going to use the Lightseers. So this is the Lightseers by Chris Ann. Really popular deck, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The other one I have bought that I'm probably not going to use is I don't know if you've seen this. This is Tarot Landscapes.
I have
And
seen
this,
this show up a
oh my
couple
God,
of times.
I'm obsessed with it. But my this is a new deck for me, and it's very different than the sort of Rider-Waite-Smith structure and system and archetypes. So I'm still getting used to it, which is brilliant because it's making me kind of go back to the beginning with my own tarot practice. But in terms of like my familiarity and my ability to make meaning, we'll be using the light seers.
Absolutely. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pull one card each
Ooh, exciting.
um,
Okay.
for the collective.
I
Oh,
need
and
to
I
get
should
this
mention
done.
I'm using the Mermaid Tarot today because it's on my desk.
Beautiful.
It's the one I'm using at the minute. It's the most popular one in my rotation right now.
I was going to bring the animal totem because that is genuinely one of my favourites, but I thought that might be a bit sycophantic, so we're going with the light seers. So we're just pulling one card, a message for the collective, yeah?
Yep, one card. And I always let my guests go first. So, what
Yeah.
card did you pull?
So I've pulled the star. So let me hold this up so everyone can see it.
Beautiful.
Do you want me to, do you want to turn yours over
Yeah.
first, or do you want me to say a few
No, go
words?
ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead and give us your star reading for today.
So my star reading for today is it's something about being tethered, being tethered to something greater than ourselves. One of the images I really love for the star is the idea of like a in that Disney film Up, where
Hmm.
he's got loads of colourful balloons, but he's like
Yeah.
grounded on the earth. So for me, the star is really about the connection that we have with the beyond, with something that is greater than our sort of day-to-day material life. But it is about grounding that light in the here and now. So my message, I suppose, for the collective here would be making making sure that you're paying attention, that you are tending both to your spiritual practice, to whatever it is that connects you with a greater sense of meaning than the material world, whether that is tarot, whether that is prayer, whether that's meditation, whether that's nature, whatever it is, ensuring you're tending to that, and at the same time that you are grounding it in the here and now, because we live here on this earth in this day and age, that we were born here for a reason. And I think the kind of the shadow side for me of the star is spiritual bypassing, is just like, let me live up there with all of the fairies and the spirit guides and forget the fact that there's so much work to be done here. So yeah, how are you grounding your spiritual practice in what is needed in this world, in this absolute cluster F that we live in right now?
And it ties beautifully because I got the High Priestess here.
Oh,
So for me, like, if we're going to combine these together, so if we think about the idea of the stars wanting you to tap into that spiritual self, but bring it down to earth, the High Priestess has that one foot in one realm, one foot in the other. So she's here to help you balance that too, because she's saying that what you're drawing in from this universe right now, or what is coming through, is actually important for where you are here on earth for this physical experience. So it's like we have the star being this navigation thing, saying, okay, so we've got a message, we've got a healing, we've got a clearing, we want to move you in a specific direction. The high priestess is taking that in and she's going to make it practical. She's going to Say, okay, so I'm going to take this information and I'm going to look around at what I'm doing at the moment. Where am I? Where am I? I always find that's a question with the star too. You
Mm,
are here. So where
yeah.
are you? Where are you? And
Mm,
how is this divine energy? How is this spiritual energy? How is this higher self energy helping you today? How is
mm,
it going to help you today? Whether it's going to help you to move forward, solve a problem, get some clarity, take a breath, plug
mm.
in, connect, meditate, sit down, write, whatever those spiritual practices are. But there's something really important about what is coming through, which is meant to be used for the here and the now on the earth plane.
Mm. Can I build on that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Yeah. One of my teachers, I do like a tea meditation ceremony every week, and she talks about the fact that people either walk easily in this world or walk easily in the next, and then there's the people who walk between worlds, and they are the seers. Um, and what I It's really interesting that we've drawn two very like strong archetypes of spirituality, because I find the high priestess really difficult, because for me she walks in the other world. She like um is this almost guardian of the mysteries that go beyond human comprehension, and that's quite difficult for me because I walk very easily in this world. And what I love is between the star and the high priestess is that we've almost got kind of those who walk well in this world and those who walk in the other world, walk easily in the other world, and that both are needed. There are people who find it really, really difficult to function in this world, and yet they hold such like wisdom and truth, and in any other time they might have been called mad or something. But how can those who walk easily in this world collaborate or cooperate in some way with those who have some type? I don't believe I'm psychic in any way. I believe I'm highly intuitive, but I don't believe I have like a channel necessarily into something else. I think others do, and I think there's like a way in which I'm doing this. The
Yeah.
star and the high priestess can collaborate for wisdom.
Yeah, it's grounding that higher knowledge. It's
Yeah.
it's it's making something illogical logical. It's
Yeah.
taking the intangible and making it tangible. That is the
Bringing
combination
tarot
of
into
these
the corporate
cards.
world.
You
Bringing
bring
tarot.
tarot into the corporate world.
Yeah. Like bringing
Yeah.
this wisdom that is needed from beyond into these spaces of power
Hmm.
and influence that need, and I would say are yearning for more meaning.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good reading for our healers out there. Our
Mm.
healers, our tarot readers, our energy workers.
Mm.
Because sometimes I think during turbulent times, it can be easy to disconnect from that work and
Mm.
wonder if there's a point. Is there a point in me doing this work? Because it feels like the people with the power are the ones who are dominating everything. And so, what is the point of me showing up? And to me, this reading is saying, we need you to show up now more than ever,
Yeah.
because the power isn't what you think it is, and a shift is, we are on the prefaces of a shift. And if everyone pulls back and disconnects right now, then we lose that momentum for change. So with the star and the high priestess here, like I really feel it's calling to all you spiritual folks out there, and it's saying like, no, this is the time. This is the time. Double down on your work. Double down on owning your skills, your talents, your expertise. The high priestess is about, I'm going to tell you a little bit about your skills and expertise, because you just left the magician and he gave you all this amazing stuff, but you've got to go on this journey and find it for yourself,
Yeah.
because finding how this works in the real world, that's the fool's journey. So off you go and do it. Sure, you're gonna get beaten up, your ego's gonna die,
Mm.
shit's gonna fall apart, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, that was the reason. That was the reason. So go for it.
And then the star is like coming in and being like, and like, and reiterating that this is the path you're supposed to be on.
Yeah, because it happens that the star comes after the
Comes
tower.
after the tower,
After
yeah.
the fall is the
Yeah,
star. The star
yeah,
is the first light you see after the tower. It is the point of hope. It's like, oh, there you are. You found me. Great. Hang on
yeah.
to me and let's go for the
Let's
let's get
go.
to the end of the journey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's they're beautiful together.
Yeah, they are. Those were great cards. I love
Mm.
this. This is just such a great reading to have, I think, after we just had the eclipse. So we're in the eclipse cycle right now. And
Ooh,
Saturn has finally moved into Aries, Neptune's in Aries. We have had the eclipse. This is the perfect time to like come back, connect to your spiritual work, do your
mm,
spiritual practices if you've
yeah,
let them go. Um, Reach out to that client,
yeah,
put that pitch in,
yeah.
be
And
brave.
yeah, be brave. Like, I don't, I don't think everyone feels completely comfortable um owning their spirituality or like completely like, being really, really overt about their belief system. And I think we can all be, 1 to 5% braver than we are because the world does need it.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I almost feel like there is a bit of a, yeah, especially with Saturn and Neptune together, a bit kind of, come on,
You can
let's
do
do the
it.
work. Do the work. Own the you can be spiritual and still be a credible voice in, you know, the conventional world.
Yeah, because there's nothing more spiritual than plugging into your actual life and living it to the fullest.
Yeah, exactly. Because this is the life we've been given.
Yep, this is the one. We're on the path.
Yes.
All right, my dear. Tell my
Yeah.
audience how they can
Mm,
find you, how they can reach out to you, what you've got
sure.
going on.
So what have I got going on? So I, alongside my executive coaching practice, I run a tarot business called Tarot and Transformation, which is essentially, offering programs, teaching tarot as a tool for personal growth. So all of my work is very much kind of scaffolded within depth psychology and coaching frameworks. So I have a beginner's course called Tarot and Transformation for Beginners, which is a 6-week introduction to tarot as a tool for psycho-spiritual growth. And that is actually, I'm in launch for that at the moment. So sales are open for that until 28th of Feb, and the next round starts on the 2nd of March. And then I also have just started, I'm in my first cohort of a 6-month mentorship called The Bridge, bridging the conventional and unconventional worlds, which is specifically for established coaches and therapists who have a tarot practice already and are wanting to blend the two worlds. So you can find me on Instagram. It's at tarot_and_transformation. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Victoria Smith Murphy, and tarotandtransformation.com. So if any of this is, interesting for anybody, reach out. I also did a master's in consciousness and spirituality, and I did my dissertation on how tarot works, and that is a piece of theory, a model of tarot as a tool for personal growth that I'd love to get out wider in the world, because I think it can be a really interesting and helpful language for anyone who to bring this into helps practice to. That was a lot.
That's fine. That's fine. And
Done.
if anyone is wondering
I'll
what
stop.
I've got going on at the moment, I am in the middle of taking enrollments for my 5-day challenge called First 1,000 Words. So if you are trying to get your um, book started this year, or you're trying to reboot your social media content, or you're thinking about joining Substack and you want to get that first 1,000 words out because you're sick and tired of not knowing who to write for and what to write, then come ahead and join us. We start on the 23rd of February. All right, Victoria, it was great to have you on. I loved our cards. They were so freaking powerful. That was amazing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on, Lisa. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing how you take the writing work forward as well. I'm really interested in that.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time for Tarot is Ridiculous. Bye for now.
Take care. Bye.